the news block about dog robots, the first Chinese spacecraft, one more DJI drone from the A1, combat drones with artificial intelligence, and other high-tech news. Let's go! The Spot robot from Boston Dynamics keeps watch over the visitors of the Bishan Angmo Keo Park in Singapore. Local inhabitants are allowed to walk and run in parks, provided they keep social distance of at least 1 meter. Should the visitors fail to keep the distance, the robot plays back a recorded audio message with the request of restraining from getting close to other people and reminding of the necessity to wash your hands. Based on the results of these tests, the authorities will make a decision on the efficiency of the robot and deploy a whole fleet of dog robots in public places in Singapore. By the way, an updated version of Spot 2.0 already works in Singapore. This version has improvised navigation autonomy, recognition systems, simplified user programming, and easy payload integration. The robot is more stable on slippery surfaces and better defined stairs, including open and cantilevered structures. As regards autonomy, now the robot can get to any point by choosing a route on its own, although it still needs a map of the area, while the earlier Spot robot could follow a specified route under your control or repeat a route already traveled by doing itself a bypass of new obstacles only. Version 2.0 also provides several ways to integrate the payload with the robot intelligence, which makes it more useful and efficient. Additionally, Boston Dynamics announces the commercial availability of head-mounted lever for the Spot and the development of the appropriate software, which will allow the robot to understand independently how it should use this lever. The Chinese Unitree Robotics Company has announced a new model of four-legged robots, the price of which is less than $10,000. The A1 is a more modest version of the robot manufactured by the Lacago company, the price of which is $45,000. It can carry loads with weights of up to 5 kilograms and walks at the speed slightly exceeding 3 meters per second. One charge of its lithium battery shall provide the operation for 1 to 2.5 hours. The weight of the robot is 12 kilograms and its height is 40 centimeters. The A1 receives environmental information from 2 cameras and transmits the high-definition video to a human operator. The animal robot learned to move on wheels and steps. The use of wheels allows the robot to move at significant speeds, and the ability to stabilize itself when walking on them helps to overcome obstacles and move on stiffer terrain. The robot, equipped with uncontrolled wheels and torque monitoring, calculates independently its path with optimizing the position of its legs and force of pressure on them. The Aiden Robotics have demonstrated also new capabilities of its dog robot. Despite its flimsy appearance, the AI Den 6 is capable of not only transporting a couple of people, but even towing a car. At the same time, the German Artificial Intelligence Research Center showed an independent rise of its four-legged walking robots, Charlie, from the lying position. Unlike many companies, the engineers of this company gave the robot a shape of a monkey instead of a dog. Charlie has a height of 75 centimeters and only weighs 18 kilograms and is equipped with lots of sensors. The DJI introduced an industrial drone with a flight duration of 55 minutes without load and 31 minutes with a load of just under 3 kilograms. In the American version, the drone is capable of transmitting a video with a resolution of 960p at a distance of up to 15 kilometers. In Russia, the range is limited to 8 kilometers. The duration of flight with one camera varies from 43 to 48 minutes. Up to 3 mounts can be used to secure cameras or accessories. The quad rotor employs a circuit with 2 independent batteries that make it possible to land the drone and replace one of the batteries without switching the drone off if necessary. The drone is provided with visual obstacle sensors on all 6 sides. Side sensors can detect dangerous obstacles at a distance of up to 40 meters, while upper and lower ones at a distance of up to 30 meters. In the case of approaching an obstacle, the drone can give a signal or change its path independently. DJI Matrix 300 RTK has a partially collapsible design with collapsible shoulders and weight of 6.3 kilograms. The drone will come on the market in the second half of 2020, but its price is still unknown. Combat drones with artificial intelligence from Boeing, capable of operating without human control, will appear in Australia. The Loyal Wingman military drones, with a size of 11 meters, are designed specifically for the Australian Air Force. At present, the device passes ground tests. The first test flight will take place at the end of this year. The Raytheon Technologies company introduced a new video of its system for protection against drones. Should it be a signal drone or a swarm? A system, which includes equipment for detecting, tracking, and responding to a threat, can respond in various ways, from simple alerts about locations of a drone to neutralizing it with a laser, radio waves, smaller drones, and missiles. Scientists from the University of Leeds decided to use the ability of mosquitoes to fly at night to train drones. A mosquito, flying in the dark, feels its changes in the airflows created by the flapping of its wings. The same principle was applied by the research team involved in the creation of a collision prevention sensor system for the quadrotors. The researchers equipped the drone with a device consisting of a set of probes connected with differential pressure sensors. The sensor modules are located in places where the airflow changes are best felt when approaching the surface. The drone was able to detect surfaces and respond successfully at distances sufficient to correct its movement. The Refraction AI, a startup of the University of Michigan that began delivering food of its own robots at the end of 2019, stated that 5 Rev 1 robots are now receiving 4 times more orders. The experiment involves 4 restaurants and about 500 customers. The food delivery by robot is ordered via the application. Battery-powered robots can reach speeds of up to 15 miles per hour and work mainly on bicycle lanes. Their low speed allows them to use low-cost, camera-based navigation systems, which makes their cost acceptable for a delivery service. Chinese test capsules return to Earth. The unmanned spacecraft and its return capsule, designed for the transportation of 6 astronauts or 3 crew members and 500 kilograms of cargo, were launched by the Long March 5B rocket. For Long March 5B, it was a maiden flight, and the launch was considered successful, although one of the parts of the recovery boosters could not land successfully on Earth. The rocket is specifically designed to put into orbit the modules of the future Chinese space station, which should become a competitor to the ISS, a launched advanced spaceship with a weight of 22 tons, spent in orbit for 2 days and 19 hours. During the first flight, the capsule completed 7 trajectory maneuvers, having reached a maximum altitude of about 8,000 kilometers. The landing procedure began about 2 hours before touchdown. The scientists tested the thermal protection shield, parachutes, and airbags. In the future, the spaceship should not only deliver cargoes and people into orbit, but also fly to the moon. Stanford engineers created a system for wirelessly charging in motion for electric vehicles, robots, and drones. A laboratory prototype can transmit 10 watts of electricity by means of magnetic fields to a distance of 60 to 90 centimeters. The developers claim that there are no fundamental obstacles to expanding the system to transfer tens or hundreds of kilowatts, and that the system is fast enough to reach a considerable rate of recharging a car. Integration of these chargers into public roads is still too expensive, but using them to provide 24/7 operations of robots in warehouses is quite possible. This latest video is dedicated to those who've not yet understood how to pronounce the name that Grimes and Elon Musk gave to their son. Subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and stay up to date with the latest high-tech news.
X, Ash, A12 is my contribution.